Hey up, I'm the Yorkshire Time Lord, and this is my alternate personality, the Yorkshire Avenger, with my review of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Okay, so if you're watching this, that must mean it's Christmas Day, because I'm scheduling this to release on Christmas Day. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It was everything that I wanted from a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special. It really captures that same sense of fun of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and you can really tell that it's something directed by James Gunn, and written by James Gunn as well. Now the special does largely focus on Drax and Mantis, and their quest on Earth to track down Kevin Bacon as a present for Peter Quill. But I like that. I think it's a good idea to place focus on two of the Guardians rather than trying to explore every single Guardians member in this, let's face it, 45-minute special. Let's not forget the films are more of an ensemble piece, 2 hours long, and this special only had 45 minutes. So it is a good idea to essentially, focus purely on two of the Guardians rather than trying to explore all of them. And, I think Dave Bautista's always been, really great in the parts of Drax as well. I think, he really makes the part his own, and I think those of us with autism can really relate to how Drax takes things so literally. It's just so funny as Drax the Destroyer, and it would be a shame if he doesn't appear in the MCU after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Pom Clementine is great as Mantis as well. I think she brings this really kind of sweet tendencies to the character of Mantis. I think she's, such a, so great in that part, and, as again, I hope that she continues in the part beyond the third Guardians of the Galaxy film. Kevin Bacon as well, I think he does a really great job playing an exaggerated version of himself. You can tell he's having a lot of fun in the part, and, I really like his initial shocked reaction at being kidnapped by Drax and Mantis. It's really funny seeing how he reacts to this really weird situation and how he's just so baffled by it all. It feels a little bit weird seeing him in something that's not an EE advert, because I think I've only really seen him in EE adverts lately. I can't even think when was the last film that I saw him in, to be honest. So it's great seeing him in a TV show for once rather than an advert for EE. But yeah, he's really great in this Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and you can tell he was really game for these kind of strange. He was really game for this really strange plot presented to him by James Gunn. Now, the other Guardians do appear in this as well, so we do get a bit of, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, who's one of my favourite characters in the MCU. I really like the way that Chris Pratt gives the character of Star-Lord these real sort of childlike tendencies. I think that works really well for the character. And again, I think it's something that those of us with autism can really relate to. So I do, really enjoy his character, and, I really like the way that essentially this special explores, more of his childhood with Yondu. And, the way that Yondu really didn't understand Christmas. Yondu has this really kind of, Scrooge-like, story in this where, he starts off with this Scrooge-like figure as someone who shows, great disdain for the concept of Christmas. But over the course of the special, he learns to, accept, what Christmas is for and why, we all, celebrate the festive season. And, it has this really sweet ending with him leaving a present for Peter Quill and, finally realising that the value of Christmas is celebrating with your loved ones, which I thought, was a, really great ending to the animated segments in this special. The animation's not really that brilliant, it's a little bit crude, but I don't think it really matters to this. I mean, it's only, a brief bit at the beginning and a brief bit at the end. But it does its job, it's serviceable, and, it tells a, great story. In regards to Yondu and Peter's father and son dynamic. Talking about family dynamics, I thought it was a great reveal, the fact that essentially Mantis and Peter are siblings. It didn't come as a great surprise, because there was a deleted scene where Mantis reveals to Drax that essentially Ego is her father as well, and it does make a lot of sense, given that Mantis did spend time with Ego on this planet, Ego living planet, and so it does make sense that essentially Mantis would be his adoptive sister. But I think it's going to add a really new, fresh dynamic to the Guardians of the Galaxy ensemble. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 explores their dynamic as a brother and sister some more. I think that should be really great to see. I really like the friendship that's been developing between Nebula and Rocket as well. Now, we don't get a ton to do in this one-off special, but I like the fact that Nebula gifts Rocket Bucky's arm, the one thing that Rocket really wanted in Avengers Infinity War. I think their friendship in Avengers Endgame was really quite cute, and I hope it's something that's explored further in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Because it adds, a few more dimensions to character of Nebula, who started off as this really quite bitter character, and then, through her experiences with Tony Stark and then later Rocket, she softens a bit and becomes someone who, shows more affection towards those around her. So I hope that's something we get to see a bit more of in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought it was really quite amusing as well, the way that they effectively showed how the aliens on Nowhere have no concept of Christmas. It's something that Voyager Down, the Doctor Who Christmas special, did really well as well, with the character of Mr. Copper. This whole idea that because aliens didn't go up with Christmas, they don't really know what it's about. That song that guy sings to Peter Quill, and he's like, no, that's not what Santa is. That was really quite funny to watch. I like the idea of a Santa with flamethrowers and having elves that are quite evil. It's a really funny idea, and I hope that we get more fun little moments of that in the future of the MCU. If you ever do any more Christmas specials, with such a weird premise like Guardians of the Galaxy. We don't really get much at all with Groot in this one-off special. I think that's fair enough, because we did get a spin-off series of Groot earlier in the year with I Am Groot, so I think it's fair enough that we don't get to see much of Groot in this. He did at least get his own spin-off series earlier in the year. But what we do get of Groot is fine, he doesn't really do much, but we do get a funny little post-credit scene at the end where Rocket basically laments that they'll have to do another Guardians of the Galaxy special because Groot kind of fails in his attempt to be a Christmas tree. But what we do get, it's fine, and all I can say is that we get to see a bit more of Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I'm sure that we will, because that's likely to be a bit more of a ensemble piece. And I do hope that tease at the end does mean that we're going to get a further Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special at a later point, because it would be really great to see that team again in another Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. I think, their whole kind of family dynamic works really well for a Christmas special, and it would be, good to see another Christmas with, Peter and the gang. Anyway, what did you think about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.